Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're showing up from. While we wait for those to show up and join us this evening, I want to just first start by saying welcome. So glad you're going to be joining us here. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. This is Table Talk Thursdays. This is a weekly live event I do every Thursday. We talk about a lot of different topics, inspirational, metaphysical, um, psychic, um, and it's an interactive forum where I open it up to all of the participants to comment, ask questions. This is about interacting. This is about sharing. It's a lot of fun. So welcome as you come. Please let me know you're here. Say hi. And again, I am Elyse Ann Psychic. I'm the Psychic Liaison, Bridge to the Unseen. And this is Table Talk Thursdays. And the topic this evening is, are you intuitive or are you psychic? So don't be shy. I see some people are showing up. Say hi. Let me know you're here. And I'm hoping, you can just observe and listen, or I am hoping that you will interact with us. We get a lot out of this. We learn a lot. We share ideas and experiences. So it's a lot of fun too. So, like I said, I am Elyse Ann Psychic, and there's the word psychic. And I have always had the ability, a matter of fact, we all do. We all have intuition and we all have psychic ability. Now, I know a lot of people don't necessarily recognize that, or they say, oh, no, 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 I'm intuitive, I'm not psychic. However, the way I look at that is intuition is part of being psychic. What do I mean by that? The way I like to explain it is just like a pianist, some can only play chopsticks, some can play a concerto, and some are in between. So it really is, to me, intuition is just underdeveloped psychic ability. So with that, we've all had those gut feelings, right? We've all had those, well, I'm going to go down this road and I'm going to continue to drive down this road and this is the path I had or the directions, the route, there's the word, the route that I have or is in your GPS. And all of a sudden you get this gut reaction to go a different route. Well, that gut reaction is what a lot of people call intuition, but it's all, like I said, tied into being psychic. So, and as you're showing up, please say hi. Don't be shy. Just let me know you're here. You don't have to necessarily comment otherwise, but I'd love to see who's joining me tonight. And so, as for the intuition versus psychic, some people have a really hard time. Hi, Tony. Welcome. Thank you for saying hello. Um, some people have a hard time with the word psychic. It's much more accepted nowadays than it used to be. Still, some people feel it might have a stigma to it. But let's talk about this some because we are naturally a psychic being. We are, period. So let me explain a little bit. Hi, Harley. Um, Welcome. Do I think being can't even talk. Dehydrated can make it harder? Well, sure, because we want to keep our physical body, which is like the automobile where our spiritual body is in. Um, we want to keep it as functioning as optimally as possible because that allows us to focus the more energy, our higher self, on our psychic connection. When we're fighting something in our bodies, that's where our focus and our energy is going to go physically. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't be open while you're fighting something. You can still get messages or psychic information or intuition. It's just a little bit harder, I would say. So one of the biggest things is to do your best, not just you, but everybody, to keep your body physically healthy as much as possible. Now, I do know some psychics that swear that, being vegan or vegetarian is the way to go. And I totally respect that. For me, I don't do well with that. That's just me. But my body craves the animal protein. So, everybody's going to have a different opinion on this. I'm just sharing tonight my perspective, my experience, and what I have found to be for myself. So, let's start at the beginning here. Let's talk a little bit about energy. And I know I talk about that a lot of different times because if you've been on my other lives, my weekly Wednesday, even for readings, I talk about energy. Sometimes it comes up. Energy's it. Everything is energy. Okay. When I say that to people, they sometimes say, huh? And let me just interject here for a moment. I just want you to know I also have taught these workshops, psychic development workshops. So I used to teach at the local community college while they had an adult education department. They do not anymore. Unfortunately, I taught there for 8 years, all kinds of metaphysical type subjects. So I love sharing the information. And so one of the most important things to understand is everything's energy. And that's why when people say, oh, I'm just intuitive, I'm not psychic, again, being intuitive is part of being psychic. It's just underdeveloped psychic ability. And so everything's energy. We learned this in fifth grade science. Everything is energy. It just depends whether, liquid, solid. It just depends on how fast those molecules are vibrating. And so we are physically, even our physical body is energy. And the table that I'm sitting at, my laptop's on, is energy. Everything, our thoughts, our words, everything, our spirit body, our physical body. Again, it's just denser. The physical body's denser because it's not vibrating as fast. The frequency is not as fast. So that's why um, we're psychic ability, psychic information, it's all energy. So that's why we are our very existence is what I'm trying to say. And I know it didn't quite come out clearly. So let me reword it. In other words, whether somebody realizes it or not, we are psychic because we are energy bodies and everything is energy. So the communication is there. Just like radio waves. Radio waves are there. We may not be aware of them. Most of us aren't, but we know they exist. It's the same for the psychic information, the intuition. It's all energy language. It's all energy communication. So tell me if you'd like to share in the comments, do you consider yourself intuitive or do you consider yourself psychic? And again, the way I define it is intuition, being intuitive is just underdeveloped psychic ability. Underdeveloped doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Just instinctually we are intuitive, and people will use that word, and sometimes people don't realize it's just that gut feeling even is intuitive, because it is. That's an energy feeling. And welcome to all those that are showing up now. My name is Elyse Ann Psychic, and tonight is our weekly Table Talk Thursdays. Are you intuitive or are you psychic? Please let me know you're here by saying hi. And okay. So Harley, I didn't scroll for a minute. You wrote some other things here. Let's go back to that. I find it so hard to drink, but today I've drunk so much and I've literally felt energy off everything. I still haven't discovered myself yet. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here, Harley, because hopefully some of this discussion will help you with that. And Tony would say intuitive. Okay, great. And Harley, the drinking, because if you have a hard time drinking, the water, and then you do, I think that's more of a physical thing. Your body is just adjusting to that. I wouldn't get too concerned. I'm not looking at anything like in a medical standpoint. I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose. But what I would say is just pay attention to that, and hopefully your body will start to adjust. I think that might be more of a physical level, because we are naturally psychic. We are naturally energy bodies. So we are always receiving information, whether whether we're in good form and can be open to it, or whether we're just starting on our journey. I have been aware of my psychicness since a very little girl, but I didn't know what it was. I could tell a lot of stories, experiences I've had throughout all of my life. And I've been on my own self journey. I've self taught. I've had a few mentors, but I've self taught. And you haven't discovered yourself yet. So let's talk about that. I think I'm jumping around a little bit, but we're going to go with the flow here. So when you say you still haven't discovered yourself yet, I'm going to tell you that that is for a lot of people. I have a lot of clients lately that are just have been telling me, well, I'm feeling this, but I don't know where it's coming from. Or, when I was a little boy or girl, I remember seeing spirits, but like I haven't seen them in forever. And now all of a sudden I'm seeing them again. And this is also one of the things that prompted me to do this topic tonight, is because I want to just mention that the veil, when they say the veil is thinning, it it means that we're our communication is getting stronger with spirit. And when they say the veil is thinning, it has to do with the vibration, because as light workers, we've worked very hard to raise the vibration, not just of ourselves, but the planet. And so what happens is we're raising the vibration, which is in a very simplistic way saying we're getting closer to spirit, stronger connection with spirit. Um, and Harley, I'll answer that in just a moment. And so that's what they mean by the veil is thinning. We are awakening as a collective, and everybody's on different points of their journey, and that's a-okay. Let me read what you said here. How would you describe seeing energy? Because I've just seen millions of tiny little transparent little balls everywhere today. Okay. Um, how would I describe seeing energy? Okay. What I would say to that, there are many, many, many different ways of seeing energy. Okay. Some people see auras. Some people just will see flashes of color. Some people aren't aware that they are. And the tiny, like the millions of tiny little transparent little balls, what comes to me is are orbs. I don't know if you've ever heard that term, orbs, orbs. And lots of times higher vibrational energies will show up as little orbs. They're yeah, transparent. They may be a little glistening. Um, um, Maybe you've seen or heard people talking about in a photograph picture where they'll say, wow, do you see those spots? And it'll be little like round orbs, and they tend to be lighter or brighter. And those are spirit. Those are just spirits that are around wanting to be known. In other words, the majority of these spirits just want to be recognized. Okay, let me see. How can I describe? Okay. Um, it's almost like being a beacon of light yourself, whether you're aware of it or not. This is for everybody. What happens is, as we tap into our intuition and develop it into our psychic abilities, we become a brighter and brighter light. And so it's almost like that lighthouse. The spirits will say, oh, there's someone who can see us or hear us or feel us. And so they'll just make themselves known. Now, let's see, what are you saying? I thought you said one other thing. Oh, no, maybe it's the same thing. Okay. I thought I saw a comment go by here that I might have missed. Okay, so let me go back here. So that too, when you talk about the orbs or little transparent balls everywhere, one of the things that keeps coming to me, and I want to talk about it because again, we're this is just meander flow with it. My spirit team is here. They sometimes will channel, sometimes they just guide, which direction we're going to go in. And one of the things that I want to talk about, because you talked about transparent balls everywhere, and people also, oh, there it is. Okay, I thought there was another comment. I can only see them when I want to see them. Yes. Okay, very good. I'll get back to it in just a moment because I do want to talk about another type of visual that some people will see. And because it can tend to scare people because they don't understand what it is. And that's a lot of what I'm hearing from clients lately too. It's like all of a sudden I'm seeing like a dark shadow and it's there and then it's gone. And they're like, what is it? What is it? And we're conditioned in life to think, dark is bad or evil, um or lower vibration, but that's not necessarily true. What I've learned throughout my experiences is that sometimes they don't necessarily want to be identified. They just want to be seen like I exist. And the other thing is, if you think about it, lots of times that'll happen in the evening when it is a little darker because they can be seen a little bit better. But I remember as a little girl, well, actually, up into my adult life, up until about a year ago, I was terrified of the dark. Even having all the abilities I have, I remember because I was very scared when I was a little girl because when I go to sleep, and that's when, when it's darker, they can be seen better because they are energy, which is light, you could see the shadows. And so I didn't understand it as a little kid, so it scared me. But again, I've learned that it's not about scaring you or their bad energies. It's just they're making themselves known. And so hi, Jessica, welcome. I'm so glad you're joining us. Um, and so you're talking about that you can only see them when you want to, like the millions of tiny little orbs, and you can switch it. Yeah, well, then that tells me that you're very connected into your intuition, psychic ability, and when you're in awareness, you see them, and so it sounds to me like, and I'm getting this from my spirit team too, that you are connecting with your spirit team to work on this. That's why you're seeing them. You can turn it on and off, and that is a tool that I have taught in my workshops, and I do individual one-on-one sessions with clients to help them develop their psychic abilities, in specifically catered to them. And hi, Sophie, I'll be with you in just a minute. You wrote a lovely message here, so give me a second and we'll get into it. Um, and so that's part of managing it, actually, Harley. So you're not even realizing that you're managing it to some degree, because what I have taught is like an on off switch. Because some people also have said to me, gosh, it's like never ending. Once I said, okay, let me hear the messages, they don't stop. Or let me know you're here, and then they don't stop. But you have every right to ask them to, with a lot of love, that, I need to sleep right now. I've had to do that. Where especially when I was really before I started doing this professionally almost 20 years ago, I had to really work into developing my tools. And I had some very interesting experiences, and I'll tell you about one of them. And that is one night I was asleep in bed, and I was awoken by a card game, literally a card game in my room. And so I could hear them very clearly. It was spirit, and I wanted to sleep. And I said to them, look, go have your card game somewhere else. I need to sleep. And so in a way, I did the off button, and they did go, because spiritual law, universal law is they do have to follow that. And I'll just throw out there, if you ever find, let's say, some spirits being a little difficult about following that, you can always call on Archangel Michael. He clears all types of energy, and his color is blue, like an electric blue almost, but a blue. But you're using your on off button, which is very cool, and you can use that in all different ways. Sometimes too, people who hear If it's too loud, you can turn the volume down. There's all kinds of different tools that I teach about. So those are a couple of them. So let's see what Sophia says here. Um, Hello, I've been on a way to discover myself from a young age. I've experienced paranormal activities and seen spirits, unexpected figures appearing. Yes, I was haunted in my childhood home. I was absolutely terrified. I've heard and felt spirits. Not so long ago, I saw a white figure come out from behind my TV, and my partner saw it the day before. It seemed to have a friendly face. I always know things before they happen, so I can tell my friends about events and how they will occur in the future. Whenever I'm out, someone will pop into my head, and I get a fuzzy connection feeling from head to toe the moments after they appear. It's happened much since a child, too much since I've been a child for me not to notice. Now even my friends notice this about me. Latest example, a person I knew came into my head and I felt panic. I found out that day she had suffered an attack and taken to a hospital. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm not scared anymore and I try to focus on energy and spirits when I feel them. What do you think of this and where can I go from here? Okay. Um, well, wow, that's a lot of information. So I'm going to go piece by piece here. And this is for everyone because even though I'm addressing Sophia's comment, the things I say is an overall for everyone. Um, yeah, you use the word haunted. And again, let me just address that word. And I don't know your very specifics of your experiences. A lot of people will think spirits it's haunting. They're haunting you because they're around, they're hanging around. I look at it very different. Haunting to me are lower vibrational energies. And they're not just the ones that because you see them, it's scary. That's not them. And they do show up as dark figures, which, again, I don't know if you were here, Sophia, when we first started, but I talked about that, where it's not so much that they're dark energies. It's just they don't necessarily want to be recognized, but they want to be seen, if you will. Okay. Haunting is kind of like the ghosts, the lower vibrational beings that are earthly bound. So I just wanted to say that. Now, as a child, yes, I had the same exact experiences. I saw them, I felt them, I heard them. I was given premonitions. I mean, I've had the whole 9 yards. And so the white figure came out from behind your TV and your partner saw them. It seemed to have a friendly face. Okay, well, one thing I want to say about that is if you ever see a spirit, dark, light, whatever, take a moment to pause because I know as human beings that initial is like, whoa, and it's a little scary, okay? And to be honest, I've had so many experiences in my life, and it doesn't happen very often, but once in a while I get startled and I get a momentary, whoa, that was a little woo. So just know that's natural. Um, um, oh, where did we go? Okay. If you're ever confronted though with an energy that you're just not sure about or a spirit, just pause for a moment and go into your heart center. Go into your gut, go into your heart center. And just don't be in your head. Do your best to be in your heart. And you will know the truth of whether this is a higher vibrational being or a lower vibrational being. We really don't want those lower vibrational beings around. And again, let me go back to if you're not sure, you can always ask Archangel Michael to clear the energy. And the thing is, always do it with love, not anger. And you can always say, you can say something like, Archangel Michael, could you please clear any and all energy that does not belong and take it back to the white light of the universe. And I say the white light of the universe because if they are a lower vibrational being, that way it's transmuted. The energy is transmuted. And if they're a high vibrational being, they're just being brought home to the light. So, okay. And you say that, you know things and you're having these reactions, head to toe buzzings. And Tony, I see your comment. Hi, Jerry Lee. Welcome. So glad you're here tonight. Tony, I'll get to you in just a moment, your comment there. So, I'm going to tell you that, Sophia, I have had a lot of these things as I read through them. Um, I'm glad you're not scared anymore and you try to focus on the energy and spirits when I feel them. Yes. And again, I'm going to highly suggest and I should say strongly suggest that you go in your core, your center, or ask Archangel Michael to clear any negative energy. You can do that too, so that you're sure that you're reading the energy appropriately. Um, because the lower vibrations exist and the higher vibrations exist. We don't want to give any fear, anger, or any fuel energy or anything to those lower vibrations. So if you're not sure, just please go ahead and call on Archangel Michael. Okay. What do I think of this? Well, what I think of it, my dear, is your abilities are really opening up. You're very connected and you're very psychic. You are developed in a way that maybe you're not aware consciously, but it's happening. So you're getting a lot of information, a lot of psychic information um, through your feeling and your knowingness also. And to talk about that, there are 6 different clairs, they call them. Clairvoyance is seeing, clairaudience is hearing. I know I have a feeling I'm going to forget one. Clairsentient, no, wait, yeah, clairaudience is hearing, clairsentience is feeling, claircognizance is just knowing. It's a little bit different than feeling. And then there's gustant, which is like a taste, and Claire centrist, I think it is, which is smell, scent. Okay. And it doesn't matter how you get your information or how spirit will communicate with you, which Claire you get it from. It looks like, Sophia, you have different clairs that are developing some. You see, you feel, I get my information all those ways. It just depends on how spirit feels it can communicate best with me, and it's constantly, it shifts, and sometimes my seeing is much stronger than my hearing, or my hearing is much stronger than my seeing, or I'll get it both a knowingness and a see. I mean, any combination. And once in a great while I'll get smell or taste. It doesn't mean I'm any better than anybody else because I get it in all those ways. It just means that's the way I've been developed psychically through work with my spirit team to receive the information. So, where do you go from there? From here? Well, again, like I said, if you want, I do work one on one with clients. You can also get some books. You can work with your spirit team. The biggest thing is protection, shielding. That's why I talk about Archangel Michael, and also white light, huge whenever you're working with energy, huge. Every day I am in a bubble of white light and completely encased. Now, what does that mean? That's God's source, the highest vibrational being. And what that means is, are low vibrational beings dangerous? Talk about that in a minute. I think I talked about it just a little bit just now, but um, the white light is about shielding. There's nothing to be afraid of if you know you're in the light. Because the saying that especially as I was developing and opening myself up to different energies, um, I always I always said to myself, where there is light, there cannot be dark. I walk in the light, therefore, no, I am of the light, therefore I walk in the light. So I always knew that I had that white light. And so that is a shield to keep some of that energy away. So just make sure if you're going to open up to this that you use some of those tools to help yourself, Sophia. Okay, Tony. So it like seeing a figure. I had a visitor when I was a little girl. Only my dad and I could see him. He'd come stand at the corner of my bed and walk down our hallway. We figured it was his old home and he was just checking to make sure we were taking care of it. My grandmother saw him out of the corner of her eye once, but we were the only ones. Yes, that happens. Um, it just sometimes, again, as I started talking about in the very beginning, um, we are all psychic, whether we realize it or not, because we are energy bodies, and psychic information, it's all energy. Psychic information is all energy. Spirit's all energy, and we are wired that way. We are innately psychic. Now, some people don't like the word psychic, or some people don't consider themselves psychic. Again, they might say, well, I'm intuitive. To me, that's just underdeveloped psychic ability. So I connect the two. That's the way I see it. So yeah, I mean, as long as I said before, you're not feeling threatened, you're not feeling uncomfortable, and it's not in the head. It's about in your heart, in your core, because our mind, that's all ego. And like I said, even as many years as I've been doing this, and it doesn't happen often, but every once in a while I get caught off guard and I'm like, whoa, what was that? But I know that's a physical human being reaction. And so I ask myself, how do I feel in my heart, in my gut? And so, yeah, it's very cool that you said your father saw him and your grandmother saw him once. So, again, it feels as if they weren't a threat. And welcome. Looks like some more people are joining us. So glad you're joining us for the weekly Table Talk Thursdays this evening. Just say hi. Let us know you're here. Hi, Sue. Welcome. Okay, Harley, you said something about that scared me now, so I'm not sure what it is. Put it in the comments so I can address it for you, because you do not be scared. Do not, I'm going to tell you, everybody, do your best. Okay, easy for me to say, don't be scared. What I mean is, you have your spirit teams around you. You have the white light now. Okay, if nothing else, no matter what, your white light. It's not to be scared or be fearful, because it's just having the tools you need. That's all it is. And we always have our spirit team with us, our guides, our masters, our teachers, God source with his white light, the archangels, Michael, Raphael, I mean, there's a ton of them, our own angels. So it's nothing to be scared about. We have all the help we need at our fingertips. Okay. But if you want to put specifically what it is that you felt was concerning to you, Sophia, please do, because my intention is not to scare anybody. That is, I'm here to help. I'm here to guide. I'm here to, help you open up doors. Because let me tell you, the more I have developed over the years, the more beautiful my life has become. Seriously, I can't understate that. Um, if you will, I don't say the word control, but it has allowed me to really manage a lot of my life and to create and to manifest and to help people, to give them messages. I do psychic readings for my clients too. I do private sessions. You know what, guys? Go on my website, ElyseAnnPsychic.com. Read up on me, see what kind of services I offer, and then reach out to me if you'd like some individual sessions. Okay. Okay. So Harley said, I mean, even right now I'm seeing loads of orbs around your tapestry. Yeah, that's cool. Um, you're tuned in, honey. You're tuned in. Let me go back to Tony's comment here, though, when she said they were the only ones. Again, some people are more open to it. You know, we're conditioned a lot in society that it's taboo or it's woo woo, or there can be a lot of negativity surrounding it, or stigma. But the truth of the matter is, if people really realize, everyone has it. We're naturally psychic beings. We have a higher self. That's our soul. That's all energy. That's all connected to the higher vibrations. The I am, the highest one, however you want to word it, God source. And unfortunately, some people are shut down. Some of it is society, some of it, to be honest, and I am not criticizing, it's just from experience. Religion has a lot to do with it. Most of my clients that have that, I see a lot of first timers too, where they've never gone before, and they will mention to me, well, I had a really religious, upbringing. And so we're taught and conditioned sometimes not to accept it or that it's a bad thing. But you know what? I'm it. I mean, I'm living proof. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing. I have to say. So, and their information is I mean, always, always, always correct. Okay, let's see. Okay. Hi, Laura. Welcome. Okay, I'm gonna let me go through these comments here, guys. I'm so glad we've got a lot of interaction going because we learn from each other too. Harley said, "Are low vibration beings dangerous?" I think I addressed that. Brilliant. Thank you. I've learned a lot. I'm so glad. That's why I do what I do, Sophia. And guys, go ahead and follow and like my Elyse Ann Psychic page so that you'll receive notifications when I go live. I do this every week. Table Talk Thursday, 7 p.m. Arizona time or Mountain Standard Time now, or the same. And I also have a weekly Wednesday live where I do psychic mini readings, messages from your spirit team with me. So go ahead and follow and like and my page, and you'll get those notifications. I just want to remind you, double check your notification settings that it's set appropriately to receive my posts and notifications because I've had several people say I'm not getting them. So just double check your notification settings also. Okay. So, okay. Harley, that scared me now. Okay. I was scared of what Tony said. She said she saw a man walk through the hallway. Okay. Well, several things with that, Harley. She alone, when she relayed that story, okay, she's even saying it here. He wasn't scary ever to me. I was just a little kid too. I never felt any malevolent. Oh, you gave me one of those words that tonight I'm not good with these big words today. I don't know what is malevolence. Always curiosity and peace. That thank you, Tony, because that's what I was gonna say. Is again, Harley, when I talked about how, go into your center, go into your core, ask yourself how it feels, not in your head, but in your heart or your core, your gut. How does that feel? If you feel a tinge or a twinge and you're okay, so just ask Archangel Michael to come clear the energy. Okay. And even if you're not sure, you can ask him to come clear the energy. Again, there's nothing to be afraid of. You have all the tools, you have your team with you. I've given you some additional tools. It's easy to say, I understand, because it is a little, especially when we're opening up to it and having these, these experiences before we're well developed on how to, like, let's say, manage things. It can be scary on the human side of things. I get it. But you have all the tools to you have things to manage it, I should say. You have all the tools, but you have things to manage it. Okay, Sue Michaels. I had a private session with Elyse Ann recently, and I can't recommend her enough. What an amazing experience. Thank you again, Sue. Thank you. I so appreciate the shout out. Much love. And if you would like Sue to put a review on my Elyse Ann Psychic page saying just that, I would love it. There is a tab that says review. You'll click on it, ask you if you recommend me, and then you can put your comments in. I would be so honored if you're so guided to do that. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Okay. So Harley says, I've always thought religion limits your spirituality. Um, yeah, I don't want to go too far into that. I mean, I have my own personal feelings about that. But yeah, religion itself, lots of religions look at what I do as oh, I've heard some really harsh words. I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry. I respect them. They have their faith. God bless them. I can honor that and respect it. I'm not here to prove anything to anybody. Thank you, Sue. She said she'll put it on my page. Thank you so much, honey. I appreciate that. Um, I'm not here to ever judge, but yes, lots of times religion very much looks down on what I do, looks down on psychics, charlatans, evil, the devils, whatever. That's their opinion. All I can tell you is I know who I am. I know that what I do is divine and blessed, or I wouldn't be doing it. And I came to the point in my life again, this journey, I've always had these abilities, and because of society, I held it back a lot. I really did, because, what are people going to think? What's my family going to think? Ooh. And then one day I woke up and I said, Elyse Ann, it's who you are. You can't separate it. You're Elyse Ann Psychic. I mean, you just can't separate it. It's who I am. It's my very being. So, again, I'm not here to prove anything to anybody, and I hope none of you feel you have to prove it to anybody in your life. And you can choose what's best for you. But I gotta tell you, the more you open up to your psychic communication, to that communication, the more beautiful your life becomes, because that information is there to help you. It helps to support you, guide you. My life has changed tremendously in such a positive way the more and more I developed. And even now, as I move through, because my vibration keeps ascending, I'm working on that myself too, in many different ways. And the more I my vibration elevates, I just find the clearer the information is, the amount of information I receive for myself. I mean, I do this, the psychic readings and everything for other people. That's fine. That's never, an issue. But when it's for ourselves, because we're human too. But as I've elevated in my vibration, I'm getting more of that psychic information, and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful, the things I'm told, the things I'm guided to, the answers I got. So Harley says, my grandma is a medium, so I've always been interested in it. And so many people have called me satanic for it. You know, Harley, let me address that for a minute, because that's that. I don't know if you've ever. There's a book called The Four Agreements by San Miguel Ruiz, and it helped me tremendously. There's four agreements, and one of the agreements is don't take it personally. And basically, to summarize what is said in there, is that nothing anybody says or does to you or says about you is, it's all about them, because it's coming from their perspective. They're the ones putting that label or judgment on you. You have to decide for yourself who you know you are and what you know you are. You understand what I'm saying, Harley? So I would, I get it. I have cousins who are missionaries. Bless their heart. They're doing the work that they feel is for their highest good, and I totally honor that. But they have had not nice things to say to me, or about me, I should say. They never said it to me. And that's fine, because that's their opinion. That's where they want to be. I come from a complete space of love. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm not here to tell anybody I'm right and they're wrong. Mm-mm. You will not hear that from me, because that's not what I'm here for. And so if they want to see my love and compassion in the work I do, which really boils down to, I just love helping people. I always have. As a little kid, my heart is so, just wants to help. And if they want to label it that, then that's up to them. But I'm living my life, and I'm living my authenticity, and I'm living my truth. And so, however you feel you want to land with that, my dear, it is a choice whether we accept what other people say about us, or whether we know for ourselves who we truly are, and we be who we know we are, not what somebody else said we need to be. So let me ask everybody. I asked before, do you consider yourself intuitive or psychic? I know we have some new people here that, or I should say, yes, some new people that showed up after I had asked that question. And or let me know what experiences you've had. Let's look at that. We have about 15 minutes left to the live. And if you have any specific questions on the topic, please do ask them. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to find out from you what you would like from me. So, okay. Harley says something I've been worried about. It's always something I've been worried about. I understand, Harley. It is very hard, especially if it's family, or very people close in your life. I struggled with it. I just said to a friend of mine, we were talking, I don't even know what we were talking about, but basically I said, well, when I came out to my family because that's what it felt like. It was like I was, you know, uh, hold on. Okay. Okay, can somebody please go ahead and report and block Cassandra Lizzie because they are a scammer and I cannot do it while I'm in the live. Somebody please block that person. Hi Sharon. Somebody please because they are a scammer. And I'm gonna tell you on any of my lives, does anybody ever contacts you? Oh, you should come to me for a reading. Oh, inbox me, private message me. They're so out in force now. They're just lower vibrations, to be honest. And please somebody block and report them. But if you ever are contacted during live, after a live, they are not affiliated with me. They are a scammer. Do not send them any money. Uh, Thank you, Tony. I hope you were able to block her too. Thank you so much, Tony. And by the way, Tony's also the moderator for our Wednesday live, so I'm so glad that she's here participating. So working so hard to help me on Wednesday. So shout out to Tony. Much love. Thank you. So Sharon says more intuitive than psychic. Okay, and Sharon, you weren't here. Um, uh in the beginning, so let me just quickly go over this because it's huge, and this is the thing that really motivate one of the things that motivated me to have this topic tonight. Intuition, to me, this is what how I see it. Intuition is just underdeveloped psychic ability. So you are intuitive. Yes, everyone's intuitive. Those gut feelings, those are intuition. But I don't know how I knew, but I knew. Well, that's your intuition. And when I say, underdeveloped psychic abilities, the example I used in the beginning was a pianist, someone who plays the piano. Some people can only play chopsticks. It's all their abilities are, which is fine. Some can play a concerto and some are in between. So, because, and I say this too, because we were just talking, I think you probably heard of how, psychic has some stigma sometimes for people, or they're concerned with their family, um, how they're going to react. But I have to tell you, it's become more and more into the light. It's not so woo. I mean, it's not so stigmatized so much anymore. And so we are naturally psychic. We are just naturally psychic. We are energy beings. We are a soul in a human body, and the human body is energy too. So we are naturally. If you guys want to share more than intuitive, have a sense of knowing. Well, that is it. The knowingness is a form of psychic ability. And, however, let me address that for a minute here. That's great. I'm glad you said that. Now, I think with Sophia or Harley, both of you said, I think, something about seeing. I think Sophia talked about knowing, feeling. Sharon is saying a sense of knowing. Those are all forms of psychic communication. It's the way, see, spirit will communicate with us the way they feel we can best receive the message. So the knowingness is definitely a way of receiving that communication. And like I said, sometimes this thing, no, I'm jumping around. Sorry, let me go backwards here. I want you all to know too that and I think I addressed some in the beginning, but a lot of people are opening up or awakening to these innate abilities because we're being asked to do that, the vibration to get raise the vibration of this planet. And so if you're having more and more experiences, excuse me, I have something in my eye. If you're having more and more intuitive experiences, psychic experiences, pardon me, seeing spirits more, it's because the vibration is raising. And as the vibration raises, if you will, for simplistic terms, we're getting closer to the higher vibrations, which are the light. Okay. Laura says she has that knowing sense that's more than intuition. Yes. But you see, that's psychic. actually. It is. Now, you don't have to be like me or, get the messages all the time or be able to do this for other people or get it all different ways like I do, the hearing, the seeing, the knowing, the feeling, the taste and smell every once in a while. Um, it doesn't matter if you have one of those ways you receive psychic communication information or if you have them all. It doesn't matter. It's all psychic. So I used to know somebody who's psychic who used to say to me, this goes way back. Gosh, we lost touch, but I get so frustrated because I can hear, but I cannot see. And the advice I would say and give to anybody with that is, I was going to say never. I usually don't like to say never, but really never judge it. Don't ever judge it. It's just the way you're tuned in. Let's equate it to radio waves. I just heard that from my spirit team. Radio waves. There are different frequencies. And depending on the frequency, one place on the dial will pick it up where when you turn the dial and it changes to a different frequency, you're going to hear a whole different radio wave, right? So look at it that way. I really like that. Thank you, Spirit. Look at it that way. Where's your dial? And be okay with where your dial is. It doesn't matter if you just hear or you hear and feel, but you don't see. It's okay. That's where you're dialed in at right now. And it doesn't mean that in the future, that you can't necessarily develop those other abilities, because absolutely you can. But be very satisfied and happy with how you are receiving it. Okay. Because again, your spirit team knows where you are located on the dial. That's the way I'll put it, just like I said. And that's the way they're going to get the most communication to you. And Harley says, how do you change frequencies? There is a lot to that. There are all kinds of different tools and exercises that can be done. Again, I can help you individually. I offer sessions. I've done this a lot of times for clients. It will be catered to you. You can read books, but in a simplistic way, how do you change frequencies? One of the biggest things is I'm hearing very clearly, and again, my team helps me with all of this. We channel is to relax into the way you do receive it. Allow it to be. Okay. And Jerry, there's all different ways to develop your psychic abilities. I've taught workshops on that. There's all kinds of tools. One of the first things that I will say is meditation. Very simplistic. I mean, there's a lot of things that can be done. In this live tonight, though, we're not going to, I'm not going to be able to get all those tools. We can work one-on-one. And maybe you guys, if you're interested, maybe I'll put together and do my workshop again. It's been a while, but I can do that. Let me know if you have an interest in that, and I'll see where that goes and how that develops. Meditation is really great. And the other thing, because it allows you to get quiet, it allows you to be still. And that's where we're going to start getting our information and our communication even clearer. And you may find that you might start to have other abilities show up. Now, I do want to say something with that, because again, I've been doing this professionally for almost 20 years. And I have found through my professional life that my abilities will shift, my dial will shift. Sometimes sometimes it's in the middle of a reading, sometimes it's been for portions of time. And I've gone times where, okay, for example, I'm also a medium. I do some mediumship. I communicate with those that have crossed over, and that's actually how I really got into this professionally, is my mediumship. And one day, and Spirit used to give me names all the time, and one day it went away. We'll talk about having a little fit on them. Like, what are you doing? And I learned that I couldn't force it, that I had to be okay with it. And so I surrendered to, allowed it to be what it is. I surrendered to it, and I knew they had a reason. And I do know now what the reason was or is. Because yes, I do the mediumship. I do mediumship readings, and they'll come through. My purpose is a little different. I can do, that's part of my purpose. But my full purpose here as a psychic is not necessarily to be only a medium. I'm here to get out and teach, just like I do on these Table Talk Thursdays, to guide people, to help people. A lot of the work I do is, what is holding you back? What is blocking you? I'm well known for, we all have limiting beliefs and traumas that get in the way, limiting beliefs that block us, that are subconscious, that we don't even realize. Past lives, something, an event that happened in this lifetime that you buried it, or you're just not aware it was significant for you, but you didn't connect it. And so spirit usually brings those up so that we can help bring it to awareness so that you can heal it and release it and move forward. So, even though it bothered me in the moment, and I did have some talks with spirit, I finally surrendered and allowed it. And this is where I've developed into. And again, I can still do the mediumship, but the point I'm just trying to make is when we try hard and we're not allowing that flow to just be, that's where we can trip ourselves up. Now, Harley, you said I've tried meditating so much and I can't meet my spirit guide. Several things. Let's not try so hard. Hi, Melissa Ann. You were asking for a reading tonight. Is Table Talk Thursdays? It is an interactive forum where we discuss different topics and we share information. My readings, my mini readings are on Wednesdays. I do those every week. Those are on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Arizona time. We are the same as Mountain Standard Time right now. But I invite you to stay for the last few minutes of our Table Talk Thursdays. We're talking about, are you intuitive or are you psychic? So please stay on till, like I said, we're in the last few minutes, but I'd love to have you stay here with us. So don't try so hard, Harley. That's the thing. And I get it because I used to do it too. I want this, or how come I can't? But you see, one of the things for us, this is huge. Okay. Thank you for bringing this up because it takes me to the place where when we are not in the flow, when we are trying too hard, I think I might have just said that. Sorry, got a little distracted there. We're not really, we're in our minds. We're in the ego. We're not in the quiet space because meditation is not about being in the mind. It's about being in the higher self. It's a different space. The thing I want to suggest to you specifically, Harley, is you can just talk to your team and say, hey, when you feel, it's for my highest good, allow me to meet my spirit guide, and then let it go. You're welcome, Melissa. Of course, you're always welcome. She says, welcome. Thank you for the kind welcome. Wonderful. Thank you for the kind welcome. Of course, always. I'm glad you're here this evening. Maybe you'll be here again. Well, I won't say next week because next week's Thanksgiving, guys. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I will not be doing the live on Thursday, but I will be doing my live on Wednesday, the mini readings this coming week. So, okay. So one of the things really developing your abilities, or how do I meet my spirit guides? Some of it is about relaxing and not trying so hard. As for developing the spirit, your abilities, there are all kinds of exercises with energy and tool. You're welcome, Harley, and tools that are just a myriad. Like I said, I've taught this workshop, and it can be hours. So let me know if you guys are interested in maybe me putting together that workshop again and offering it. And then we'll sit back and my spirit team are my business managers too. So we'll see what they have to say. But I want to see if there's an interest. You can direct message me if you'd like. Okay. So we are actually down to the last minute, you guys. I love, love, love this. I am so glad you guys are here. I really do appreciate you guys participating. And if you didn't have any comments and you're just listening, that's fine too. You're so welcome every week. I'd love to see you on this live, my Wednesday live. Check out my website, ElyseAnnPsychic.com. And like I said, go ahead and follow and like my Elyse Ann Psychic page so you'll receive notifications from me, and just double check your notification settings are correct. Because I have heard some people saying, oh, I'm not getting your notifications, and I'm not, I'm not a tech person, but anyhow. So again, I'm Elyse Ann Psychic, the Psychic Liaison, Bridge to the Unseen. I'm so glad you're here today. Oh, you're welcome, Sharon. I'm so glad you guys are here. Stay well, be safe. Maybe I'll see you Wednesday on the live mini psychic reading event. And if I don't run into you this week somewhere on Facebook, please have a safe, healthy, happy Thanksgiving. Much love to all of you. Have a good night. Thank you.